Subscribe to the Minor Detective channel, also hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. If you are watching this video, then I'm pretty sure that you are a PUBG player and you play with Tencent emulator. And if my guessing is right, then you have come to the right place. What's up guys, Kushal here, and in this video I'll show you the best settings for emulator players. I'll show you each and every in-game settings in this video, so you can kill them like a pro. Also, I made a video about PUBG sensitivity settings and lag fix previously, and it hit 20,000 views. So I guess that video pretty much helped you guys. But if you did not watch that video, then what are you doing? Go ahead, watch that. And now as a new update came in PUBG, they added some really cool features in it and changed a lot of things. And that is why I'm making this video right now. So it's kinda like a tutorial video, and that is why it will be a long video. So keep patience and enjoy the show. And if you're a newbie in PUBG, then this video will help you a lot in your progress. So don't skip any part in this video and watch this video till the end. So now seriously, I'm done talking, so let's just get the intro and of course enjoy the show. So first things first, we're gonna open up the PUBG over here, as I have installed it in my PC. You can see right here, and it is opening right now. It will take some time, and then we're gonna click on play. It will open up the PUBG emulator, as you guys know. And I'm also gonna show you guys that I have installed the PUBG into my C drive because it is a SSD, so the booting time is so fast with this. And you should also install it to your C drive if you have a SSD. So as you can see, our PUBG is loading right now, and it will take some time, I guess. So let's wait for a bit. And now it is loaded. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on this settings icon over here, and now you can see the basics option here, the graphic, the control, the vehicle sensitivity, pickup, and other stuffs. So we're gonna start off with the basics. So here the crosshair color should be white, because if you choose any other color, then it will easily mix with your environment. So I suggest you to keep the crosshair color to white. Then coming to the aim assist, and you should enable this always because it helps you to aim better to your enemy. So you always wanna enable this option and never disable it. Then coming to the bolt action, rifle, and crossbow firing mode, and there is again two options, one is tapped, one is release. So for mobile users, you can set it to release, because whenever releasing the fire button, it will fire the sniper rifle. And for the Tencent emulator guys, you should always select the tap option, because the release does not make sense in emulator, right? You can use the release option in your phone, but always keep the settings on tap whenever you're playing in emulator. So coming to the next point, which is the quick scope switch, and you should always enable this because it helps you to switch scopes without going into your inventory. So always enable this option, and I recommend you to enable this option. Then coming to the peek and fire, and you should also enable this option because if you don't enable this option, then the lean mode won't be available in your game. Then coming to the lean mode, there was two options in the previous version of the PUBG, and now they have added another option which is mixed. So I will recommend you to set this mode to hold mode. Never use the lean mode, because what it does is it leans for 3 seconds, then it comes to the normal position. So I will recommend you to take the full control over your lean. So whenever you need the lean option, just press on the keyboard and release the key to come to the normal mode. Then coming to the display left side fire button, you should always set it to scope on if you're playing with a Tencent emulator. But if you're playing in your Android devices, then I would suggest you to set it to always on. Coming to the auto door open, and I guess you guys know that what it does, so you can enable it or disable it as your need. Then coming to the play emote, you should also enable this if you want to show off pretty cool dance moves to your friends. I mean, with this you can emote to other players like your enemies or your friends. So my suggestion is to enable this one. Then coming to the first person perspective camera view, I don't know what it is, so you don't want to mess around with this until you don't know what it is. Then coming to the next settings, which is allow others to see your results. So if you want your friends to see your results, then you can always enable it, or else you can disable it. Show your outfit, you can also enable it to show your outfit to your friends, and you can disable it to hide your outfits to your friends. And you can also disable or enable to show the royal pass information. So if you disable it, then the other guys will not be able to track your RP, and if you enable it, then everyone can see your RP. And you can leave these settings to enable, as it was by default enabled. Then coming to the block sight warning, and you can set it to enable as it was enabled by default. Then again there is the shotgun firing mode, which is the same thing as the bolt action firing mode. So again, if you are playing PUBG in your Android device, you can set it to release, and if you are playing it on the emulator, then you can set it to tap mode. Then comes the peek and open scope option, and you should always enable this. So whenever you are scoping to your enemies, it will open up the scope automatically. Also, you can set the scope mode to hold mode or tap mode or mix mode, and I recommend you to set it to hold mode. And then you can skip the gyroscope mode. Just click on close and you're done. Coming to the healing prompt, you should always enable this. And you can also change the bleeding effect to red or green as per your preferences. And these are the best settings for the basics tab. And for you guys, I'm showing this once again. So you can take a screenshot and do the same thing as I did. So these are my best basic settings in PUBG. And now let's go to the graphic tab. So as you can see, I have set the graphic mode to HDR and the frame rate is set to extreme. So if you have a low end PC, then you always wanna click on the smooth option and the frame rate to be low. And if you have a higher PC specifications, then you always wanna click on this HDR option and click on the extreme option. It will do the trick. Also you can set the main menu theme to haunted or classic. And for me, I like the haunted one more than the classic theme. Then you can set the style of this graphic to colorful, classic, realistic, soft or movie. For me, I have set it to movie mode because it looks so cool in game. Then coming to the anti-aliasing mode. So if you have a bigger PC with the better specifications, then you should always enable this option because it eats up too much frame per seconds. So you wouldn't like to sacrifice that much FPS for this one, right? So set it to disable if you have a potato PC and set it to enable if you have a great PC. And in the brightness section, don't touch it, just leave it as it is. Then coming to the auto adjustment graphics, and you should always enable this. Whenever your game will run in low FPS, it will automatically adjust the graphics to give you the best FPS in the game. Whenever your game will run in low FPS, it will automatically adjust the graphics to give you the best FPS. So this was my graphic preset. And I'm skipping the controls and vehicle sections over here because I guess you guys know better how to customize it. And I am no one to drop my opinions on it. So I'm just skipping the controls and vehicle sections. And coming to the sensitivity settings, which is the most important part in PUBG. And there are a lot of things added here with the new PUBG update. So here set the third person camera to 15%, set the first person camera to 15% again, and set the camera, normal camera actually, to 15%. Then coming to the camera section, set the third person no scope to 15%, set the red dot holographic aim assist to 10%, set this 3x scope to 3%, set the 6x scope to 2%, and then set the first person no scope to 14%. Again set the 2x scope to 9%, set the 4x ACOG scope VSS to 3%, and again set the 8x scope to 2%. It was the camera settings. Now coming to the AJ sensitivity. Again set the third person no scope to 15%. Set the red dot holographic aim assist to 12%. Set the 3x scope to 4%. Set the 6x scope to 2%. And here set the first person no scope to 15%. Then set the 2x scope again to 10%. Set the 4x scope ACOG scope VSS to 4% and set the 8x scope to 2%. And coming to the gyroscope section, you can leave it as it is. You don't need to touch anything here, just leave it as it is. So for the sake of the screenshot, I'm showing you the settings once again. Coming to the pickup option, you should always enable the auto pickup, so it will auto pick up all the loots and everything. Also enable the auto pickup pistols, so it will also auto pick up the pistols, but if you don't need the pistol, you can also disable it. And talking about this option, you should disable it. Auto pick up level 3 backpacks should be enabled all the time. Coming to the ammo section, here you can see my AKM ammo is set to 80, Scarel is set to 150, Groza is set to 80 because I don't play with Groza too much. QBG is set to 150 because I love the QBG and I need a lot of ammos of the QBG, which is 5.56 obviously. Then the M164 is set to 150, the M416 is set to again 150, and the AOG is set to 150. So these are my settings for the assault rifle, and you can just screenshot it and do the exact thing, and you can also tweak a little bit. Coming to the marksman rifle, which is the sniper type I guess, and here the SKS is set to 70 because 70 ammos with SKS will do the trick, and the Mini 14 is set to 100, the SLR is set to 100, the VSS is set to 80, the MK14 is set to 100, and again the QBU is set to 100. Coming to the sniper rifles, it is the real sniper, the bolt action option, and the Kar 98 ammo is set to 70 because you don't need more than that with the Kar 98. The AWM ammo is set to 60, the M24 is set to 70, the Win 94 is set to 30. So here is my sniper rifle setup. Coming to the SMG, so as I don't play with SMGs too much, so I set it to 50, the user is set to 50 actually, the Vector is also set to 50, the UMP9 is pretty much useful, so I set it to 100 because I need more ammos with the UMP9 whenever I am using the UMP9. The Thompson SMG is set to 50 because I don't play with this too much. Coming to the shotgun options, and here all the shotguns are set to 20. As you can see, all the shotguns, the S1897, the S686 and the SK12 is set to 20. Coming to the LMG, the M249 is set to 150 because it's a huge gun, so it needs more ammo, and the DP28 to 150. Coming to the pistol tab, the P92 is set to 30, the R1895 which uses the 7.62 is set to 30, the R45 is set to 30 again, and the P911 is set to 30. And here the P18C, which is my favorite pistol, is set to 80. And lastly, the Sword Off, which is the shotgun kind of pistol, is set to 5. So this was my pistol pickup setup. Coming to the others, here is the crossbow bolt, which is set to 10 by default, and I did not mess up with this because I don't play with crossbows, and I guess you guys also do not play with crossbows. But if you do, then increase the number a little bit higher, like 15 or 20 should do the trick. But for me, I set it to 10. Coming to the recovery item pickup limit, I have set the medikit to 2, the bandages to 20, the painkiller to 3, first aid kit is set to 3, energy drink is set to 4, adrenaline is set to 2, grenade pickup limit is set to 4 for frag grenade, Molotov cocktail is set to 1 because I don't use it much, I always use the frag grenade, so I set the Molotov to 1. You can increase the number if you want to. And here the smoke grenade is set to 4. Lastly, the stun grenade is set to 0 because I never pick up the stun grenade and I never use it. And in the scope pickup limit, just set everything to 1. The 2x scope, the 4x, the 8x, 3x and 6x, set everything to 1. Coming to the audio, and you can see here I have set everything to maximum volume except the speaker. Also you can do vice versa, you can just lower all the volumes except the speaker volume. But in my case I have set the speaker volume a little bit lower. Then coming to the last option, which is the quick chat option, from where you can change the default in-game messages. Just click on change and click on this cross icon over here, and then click on that message you want to take into the list. And lastly click enter here and then hit OK. That's it. So these were the settings guys. I showed you pretty much everything about the PUBG in-game settings. So if you like this video, then drop a like, subscribe to the channel and share this video with everyone else. Also if you have any questions or queries regarding to this video, then you can comment down below and I'll be there to help you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.